Number one.
Why waste
If you want, 3 minutes on the first one. And yes,
Is it a new business discussion or is it?
no, it's public comments.
Just Steinick, it's a little road. I just have an environmental question with everything going to battery. Do we, and I could be wrong, maybe I just don't know, do we have a battery recycle program of any type? Since everything is going to be batteries.
No, the program on that is, you go to, hardware stores that accept them. If they're, alkaline, then it's regular garbage, the actual batteries tell you how to word recycle. Batteries plus takes more.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a big area.
cause I went to Home Depot and they only take like
They-
the large,
Yeah.
cause they want the case.
Yes.
They took them this past weekend at the cleaners.
Home Depot?
No,
Oh, at the electronic recycling?
I know it's only twice a year or something.
I was just asking because I envisioned the dump having all these batteries eating the protective barrier before you know we're gonna have nukes in the, water system.
The closest battery.
There can't be that much discussion unless you
Gotcha.
put it on a future agenda.
Correct. Right, public comments? No. There we go.
As you know, I'm one of the communication committee members, and, I'd just like to say, with all the good changes that have come from the communication committee, and knowing that there are still, areas to be worked on, why would the board want to terminate a volunteer committee? I'm asking you to please keep this committee so we can continue our work. If you do, I'm also asking for assistance to break down the barriers that have been keeping the town and the committee from being more effective. The committee's work to date has been 100% in the best interest of the constituents and nothing less. Finally, it's most complexing to me if you didn't already know the outcome of the vote coming from this meeting for terminating the communication committee, then how would resolution 2023-02 not include the communication committee? Can you please explain that to me?
Yes. Again, this is,
You're not supposed to.
Well-
No, you should not.
okay, recommendation is no, but there'll be a explanation when we come to that item, coming after.
Okay, and then I just finally would like to say, the video, recordings were never intended for the convenience of the clerks to do minutes at all. So I'm not sure how the board is confused. That's perplexing as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good. Bob Rice, W884 Shorewood Drive. I just want to thank you guys. Hopefully we've had a good working relationship over the past year and a half. We're looking forward to getting the new road done. Work on that project's going to start tomorrow and finish up by the end of the week. I'd like to comment on item 9C, review and approval snow plowing contract for private road snow plowing services. I'm a little confused on that. When I went to the packet that you guys received for this meeting, I didn't see anything in there, the packet, that I could review the recommendation. It looks like you're gonna approve something. Our private road, we're $120,000 into a project that's just starting. It's probably gonna run over because of material costs. What drove that project was the snow plowing. We're gonna discontinue services for snow plowing. I had not seen, anything except the initial, Town of East Troy agreement for snow plowing services of private road, which Attorney Mills drafted 3 months ago maybe. There were some things in there that were alarming to me in there. It was written for the protection of the town, and I understand that. But one of the things in that agreement was, resident understands that the town board for the town will periodically review and adjust the fee the town will charge, and add to the real estate tax bill as a special charge, and hereby consents to pay any adjusted fees. You guys already know, and it's broken down, and Todd gave the number, what the cost is per occurrence. I don't know anyone on the road that's gonna sign a blank check that allows the town to charge any fee on our taxes. Take that into consideration, whatever it is you guys are gonna review tonight. Thank you.
Alright. In the packet, you should have seen the draft contract as well as
The draft contract was not
the
received,
draft, is that a part of it?
was not received
We
until
don't have
after.
the fee. We'll
Don't have a-
discuss that when we get to it.
Okay,
It
gotcha.
was not received until after the packets were put online and given to board.
Okay. Next.
Dear Car, 9260 Deer Path Road. Regarding the motion to terminate the communications committee, in the town's municipal code, section 2.40.010, it states that the chairman can appoint and reappoint committee members, and that will be approved by the town board. And Attorney Mills has confirmed that this evening, correct?
Correct.
So this code further goes on to say, and I will quote, "The town chairperson may also recommend that any appointment be rescinded at any time, provided that the town board unanimously approves the rescission of any appointed member." In my opinion and interpretation, termination of a committee as a whole is a rescission of all those appointments as a whole. My interpretation is, for that to pass, it would need a unanimous board vote. Additionally, regarding the retention period, I completely agree with Mary Jo. The purpose and intent of live streaming the meetings was to make it available to residents who cannot be here. Chairman Barkowski even said that himself, the purpose was for residents who were ill. It was created during COVID. It is not to create minutes, and the code does specifically state the 90-day period is for the purpose of creating minutes. That is the only purpose that applies to the 90-day period. Thank you.
Thank you. You got 30 seconds left, just so you know.
That's fine.
He's got more time than that.
Jess Steinick and It's a Little Road, I was on the communication committee, and I have the recommendations. And just as a comment, all recommendations that we made to the board have been fulfilled. That's one point. The second point about live stream, I would agree the purpose was, we didn't get into specifics other than, I would agree that a key was to make it available in case, you couldn't attend, that type of thing. We didn't get into much more granularity regarding that, but I just wanna make a point that our recommendations have been fulfilled by, the communication committee. And I have the conclusion, it's in your docket that we handed out to you, so nothing is missing at this point.
Thank you. Yeah.
John Stowe, Stringers Ridge Road. Can we ask ourselves what the hell's going on in this town? We've had, votes on things that the electors wanted at the annual meetings. Joe has gone back 2 or 3 years and watched my videos. Supervisor Wills has done it, Chairman Joe Krakowski has done it, and we are splitting hairs over retention. If you go to Walworth County, they keep them forever. If you go to the village of McGuanago, they keep them forever. Why are we worried about 1 year, 7 years, whatever? Let's keep them so that they're available, so that moving forward, when it comes election time, anybody in this township can go back and review the votes, how the board members voted, what they did, what they stood for, what they didn't stand for, and they make their determination. The voting cycles here are 2-year cycles. Let's keep the things for 7 years so people can make a good, determined, educated vote, so they put the right people in office. Because right now, we have half this board that works for the people of this township for transparency, openness, and honesty. The other half is working for I don't know who, but they're not working for the people of this township. Now, today, I was served with a lawsuit here from the former chief. I got this today when I was sitting over there. And it'd be nice to be able to go back and look at the meetings that happened going back 2, 3, 4 years. And if you have a ordinance that states you only have to have it for 90 days, retention, what's the purpose of it? We're skipping also, the communications committee only has done about 1/3 to half of what they set out to do when they were originally formatted and put into motion. We don't have the discussion and dialogue about what was voted on at the annual meeting, where anybody that uses this facility, that receives taxpayer funding, is recording their meetings and disseminating them so the people of the township can view them. We're missing out on all the viewing. People wanna know what's going on, but they're paying for it, they should have a right to view it. They should have a right to go back 2 or 3 years and view it. Like, some of the board members here have gone back. I've had people reach out to me, asking me for my YouTube link so they can go back and view stuff. It's important that history is preserved so that we don't make the same mistakes that were made in the past. And there's a lot of shenanigans that have gone on in this town. I've been a witness to them for over 5 decades, and I'm getting fed up with it.
You don't have to walk away without saying something. Joe Jones, I'm Mayor Marquardt. I'm not sure if we were in attendance of our first communications committee meeting or a board meeting. But I remember a topic was being discussed which would strongly benefit from public input. I made a comment that we need to find ways to get more citizen participation in our town government. And our church chimed in and said, I paraphrase the statement, "We have tried, but if you know a way, please let me know." Well, I believe the Communications Committee is the vehicle through which we can garner broader citizen participation. In fact, I think this should be the ultimate visionary goal of the Communications Committee. And when we achieve that high level of participation, we will still need to have a Communications Committee to retain the level of participation we've achieved. The Communication Committee represents the organization who can provide active outreach to show citizens they are valued and to actively draw them into the mission of the town. It is the conduit through which citizen input can be fostered, gathered, and channeled to the board. What better way to achieve this mission but through a volunteer organization which costs the town very little? After hearing the responses over the many months that there isn't enough time to complete current role responsibilities, it seems really difficult to believe we're gonna have time to absorb this additional work. My direct message to the citizens of the town of East Troy is to understand that government of any size cannot function most efficiently for the benefit of the electors and the community until you have majority participation by those same electors. This is the essence of self-governance, and self-governance is what our country's constitution is based on. Another message to the citizens is to take an active interest and get involved somehow. However small or large.
Give them 15 more seconds.
However small or large the contribution, it can be as simple as periodically expressing your thoughts to the board by email or direct. If you want town government to work for you, then participation is the first step. Please get involved. And that's everybody here and the camera. Okay? Finally, consider that the newsletter to be published in May probably required 30 to 40 hours, man-hours, to research, write, proofread, and edit. We edited three to 5 times. If we simply had 2,000 of our 4,000 residents of the town of East Troy contribute 1 hour per year, that's 1 hour per year, everybody, just think what could be accomplished with those 2,000 hours. So I appreciate your time, ask you to consider that vote.
Perfect timing, Mr. President.
I try,
Thank you.
that's why you gotta write down when you want to make it through that thing.
Alright, public comment period number one.
Catherine Sawyer, North 8844, County Road ES. I think abolishing the communications committee is a little crap. I think you guys are working really hard to make sure that we know what's going on around here. I see no reason to stop it. The only reason I could see to stop it is that there's some hinky things going on that y'all don't want the rest of us to know about. As far as you should really keep your expressions way better contained than that. As far as the record retention, from what you guys even said tonight, the 90-day thing only applies to what you guys are using for the minutes, right? And Clarkowski himself said tonight that the minutes had nothing to do with the videos. It never did. So how can all of a sudden, that's why you guys would do it? I mean, how long later, and all of a sudden the rules are changing, the reasons are changing, it's ridiculous. We wanna know what's going on as community members. We wanna know. We can't always come here. I don't wanna sit here for hours and listen to this stuff I don't wanna hear about, but I do wanna know what actually is going on. This is just ridiculous. I'd also like to say, we are the owners of Sawyer's Self-Storage. I know there's been complaints about our lighting, we're blasting lights all over the place. I just wanted to inform people that we have ordered shields for over our lights for the highway side lighting that will dim and not be blinding people off the road, hopefully. We also don't want to dim everything because we'll be open 24/7. We don't want any chance of there being shenanigans at midnight in our facility. We're also gonna let the cops have free reign. They have the ability to come in at any time they want. And I just wanna make sure that people know before it becomes a really big deal. We are trying to make some adjustments.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Public comment period number one. Mr. Sawyer?
Carl Sawyer, my address is N8844 County Road, yes. So, with this communications thing, I've been in various positions as running boards here in East Troy and various civic organizations, and, having the ability to go back and look at what has been said 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago as part of a civic organization is invaluable. It's a tool that you just can't, overstate how useful it is, as Mr. Wells knows. Mr. Korkowski, I'm sure you used to as well in the past. All of you have. So why were you even having a discussion in today's day and age, and how easy it is with our media and data storage capabilities? Why are we even having this discussion? I mean, is it a situation where maybe it's gonna take up too much space and we have to buy more in the budget for it? Why? As far as getting rid of the communications committee, until the chairman of the communications committee comes forward to this board and says, we have unanimously decided as a committee that we have fulfilled our obligations and duties to the board that we were asked to perform. They haven't come forward and given you that statement. Why are we cutting them out and getting rid of them? Especially when it seems to me that I just watched a vote on here that half the board voted against what they're asking for. It seems to me that this whole, again, how much time we're gonna sit and retain records, in our day and age, they should be retained forever. It's that simple now. Click a couple buttons. Oh, that's right. When I fill up your loan, pay a couple more dollars for storage space. Oops. I'm sure everybody in this community has toward that. So, when you look into your hearts and you realize that when it took you off, that put you in the seats you're in, you remember that you represent the people. And the people have obviously tonight let you know that they do not want communication from you on. They also would appreciate you listening to them. So, I'm gonna ask each and every morning, go home tonight, reread the Constitution, reread the Bill of Rights, and think about the reasons you were sitting in the seat in your heart, why you wanna be here and what you were trying to do for this community, and reaffirm those reasons amongst yourselves and to yourself. There.
Thank you.
Does the board do what we want?
Anybody else, public comment period number 9? Good. Alright, we'll move on. Alright, unfinished business. A special meeting